Hello, and how's it going? So I thought we would look at a few more fans and a couple more antique store finds that I've come across this year. So we did a fan video a few months ago and I covered several of those. So let's see what I've come up with since then. So one thing to note, if they'll run, if I think I can run them, I will run them. If not, then we're not. But we'll see what we do here. You know, I enjoy collecting fans, and I've got enough now that I think I'm going to have to quit for a while because I've got enough project fans to last me probably several winters. But hey, it's not a bad thing. One thing I've noticed about doing some fan collecting is you'll see as I go through these that the ones that were, it's weird because the ones that were probably in the best condition and the most valuable were not necessarily the most expensive, and I have a dollar amount that I usually stop at as far as collecting fans. So a few of these are right at that, and several of them were like really cheap. So that's interesting. So all right, well, let's get into this one. This one is about a mid 50s. What is this thing? This is looked at Dominion. That's what it is. It's a Dominion. Does spin. I've got another Dominion fan that's a little newer than this. Actually, I got two Dominion fans, and I'll tell you an interesting tidbit about that here in a second. So this is supposed to be an oscillator. Looks like the oscillator is missing some of its linkage. I don't know exactly how old this fan is, but I'd say probably, like I said, mid 50s, maybe early 50s. It's got an incorrect screw. Looks like it's missing something here, possibly. So this is a little bit of a rough fan, but it's no big deal. I think this one's pretty cheap. Blades they got a pretty good amount of pitch to them. But anyway, I don't remember where I bought this or how much I paid for it. But it'd be a nice fan fixed up. Looks like it's a single, I think this is a single speed fan. Matter of fact, probably should be a switch on it probably here. But anyway, so that's that. That's the Dominion fan. Okay, so the next one is this nice mid-century Signal brand fan. There's the badge on it. You can see it's actually rotating with the wind. We've had a lot of wind from this hurricane that went through. So it's got a nice control panel here, switch. This is a Signal Electric Manufacturing Company. Menominee, Michigan. Please correct me if I pronounce that incorrectly. So anyway, I'm not sure that this is the cord that's supposed to be on it. Looks like it's had something done here. The grommet's kind of coming apart on it, but it looks like it's all there. It is an oscillator. I say it is. I'm not sure, but it is an oscillator. This cord's cut. We can't run it, but got a nice baked finish. I kind of like that. But this fan looks like it's in better condition than the last one, that Dominion. But so anyway, okay, so there's the Signal, mid-50s Signal fan. Next up is a smaller GE desk fan, probably also from the mid or late 50s, possibly the early 60s. And I've kind of gotten away from collecting any of these smaller fans like this, kind of lower end fans. But this one was unusual and it's original. Matter of fact, I think that may be plastic, so this might be a little bit newer than the 50s, might be up into the 60s. And it has this interesting adjustment feature there. I guess you can loosen that bolt and pivot the fan up and down. It's not an oscillator, but this one does have its original cord, looks like, original plug. So it should run. This is a General Electric, by the way, so let's go for it. Oh, I bet my outlet is turned off. It doesn't run. Oh, it did. Hang on, I'll be back. That outlet must be on a switch or something. Must have it turned off or the breaker's off or something, because I had to go inside the house to the next plug. But pretty nice running little fan. Yeah, good fan. Kind of moves a little bit on that arrangement, but yeah, not bad. Alright, so the next one is one I picked up fairly recently. Just as a neat looking fan. Especially the base of it. These are not uncommon. I've seen several examples of these on the internet. And this is an oscillator, but it's missing some of its pieces, looks like, for the oscillator. So I've never ran this fan, so I've got it plugged in. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's pretty noisy. I don't know, that I have a lot of miles on it. Not sure about this switch back here either, because it's like you click it and it doesn't react, and then you click it again to turn it off. I guess it's just a single speed fan, and it still doesn't do anything. Then finally, like the third time, it doesn't feel bad. It's got some 4.5 on it, but nothing major. Probably just needs to be lubricated. That would help it for sure. So anyway, not a bad deal. That was pretty cheap, I think, for that fan. It does operate. And as a matter of fact, I haven't seen a fan yet that hasn't operated. They all work. Tells you how good they are. Our next example is this big green, probably 1950s deal. Catalog number 16AJ16. It's probably I guess that might be considered a 16-inch fan. Deal Manufacturing Company, Electric Division of the Singer Manufacturing Company, Elizabethport, New Jersey, United States. So it's pretty decent condition. The cord, we're not going to run it because this cord is scary. This is the original stuff here. Cloth covered wire. It's just crumbling. That's a fire waiting to happen there, so we're not going to go there with that until we get a cord put on it. So this is an oscillator. I think there's some stuff missing off. Yeah, it's got something. Somebody tried to rig up some kind of contraption here, which is a total fail. That's not what's supposed to be there. So this stuff, you could probably make this without a lot of trouble with the right tools, because it's just pieces of flat stock most of the time, these little linkages. So it's a nice green color, industrial color. It's got a nice switch, low, medium, high down here. So it's a nice candidate for an easy restoration. It's probably got a transformer in the base of it. They normally do. So, okay. Go in there and grab another one. Okay, so our next one is this big green mystery fan. I don't know what kind it is. Picked this up fairly recently. Cheap. And this thing is a monster of a fan. It is heavy. There's an incorrect screw and bolt going on back here. Something's up with this. It's an oscillator. Something is up with this. Something's happened to the oscillator. That wire in there is kind of scary, but I have it plugged in. It has the wrong kind of cable on it. It's got one of these grounded 3-wire assemblages here. It's not at all what it's supposed to have on it. So we'll try it. We'll flip the switch here and see if we get anything out of it. Not a thing. Alright, well. Okay, anyway, it's a nice piece. It's green. Again, it's green. I don't know why I gravitate to green fans, but probably should have had a badge here. So a lot of times you can do a reverse lookup on these and tell what kind of fan it is. So no idea on it right now though. Alright, I'm going to unplug that dude, and boy, this thing is heavy. It about pulled my arm out of socket carrying it around the other day. It's a good, well-made fan. It's a little bit later, you can tell, because it's got as people got dumber, the grates got smaller on these things. Next up is one of the nicest fans I have, probably in the top 3, and it's also one of the ones I paid the most for. I wasn't going to buy it originally, but then I got thinking about it, and well, it's really nice. So it's in good condition. The paint's nice on it. It's an oscillator. It's a Kenmore, like I said. Kenmore label on it. I think this one back here, I had to pull this fan back out of the house because I kept walking by in there, and that thing is smelling like it's burning up. So I don't know. So, but anyway, this is a really nice fan. It works good, as I'm about to show you, and it moves a lot of air. You see how pitched these blades are? So, does that occasionally. Don't know why. Okay, well, that's a demonstration of that one. It's a really nice fan. I use that one personally a lot of the time. It's a really nice one. So here's an interesting piece. Old Car Alley found one of these floor fans recently. I think at an estate sale, fixed it up, looks really good. And I've been looking for one of these off and on, not too hard, but if I ever found one that was affordable, I was going to pick it up. So this one actually came up in one of my trips around different places, and I snapped it up. This is an probably early 60s Lasco. I guess they just called these floors, they called them circulators or whatever, what have you. It's this nice light green color. You see a lot of times on this era machinery, fans and whatnot. It's got a printer. It says model, I think that's 1250. I can't really read that, but it's model 1250, possibly 1F or 4F. It's in pretty good condition. It has the original cord on it. I think this is a 2-speed fan. It's excessively noisy on the high speed, but it's tolerable here. I could imagine somebody wouldn't want to listen to that. It seems to work fine. I wouldn't say that it moves a tremendous amount of air, but it does work well. Alright. It's the Lasco 4 circulator. Alright, so this is probably the nicest, most valuable fan that I have currently. No pun intended, but someone has probably restored this fan pretty well at some point. It's probably a late 1920s, early 30s unit. These blades are painted with a baked finish, but they look nice. I don't know if they were originally that color, supposed to be brass or not, or just black, but wiring is a little, I don't know what they've done here with the wiring. That's not original. That needs to be replaced. It's got some stuff going on there. That's kind of interesting that someone spends the time to finish one of these fans as well as they can, and then they put some kind of screwball cord arrangement on it. This is not the right cord for it. You can see, so I can see out of this. Yeah. Yeah. All right. They're going here. This is an oscillator, by the way. I think this fan is in need of servicing because it feels a little stiff and it acts like it's running a little bit slow. Takes a while for it to get going. It could have something to do with this cord being too stiff too. I don't know. That's supposed to be high. That's medium. That's low. I just couldn't believe it would run that slow. Low. In fact, that's not. I don't think that is running. Yeah, somebody's done something wrong. They've probably either miswired this because it doesn't even run on low. I mean, what is that? Yeah, see, this has got a transformer down in here probably. I mean, that's not even, that's on medium, and that's not even enough to. Yeah, so I think this fan's going to need some rewiring, checking out. Something's up with that. So. But it is a very nice unit. I've seen fans that people have, so to speak, restored, and it's not. I wouldn't have even claimed to have restored it if it looked like what I've seen them do. So, all right. So we got one more to go, and that'll be all the fans. Okay, well the last one is a pretty interesting find here. Yeah, this is probably a mid-60s, maybe late 60s, Airmaster box fan. Builders of fans since 1928. Airmaster Corporation, Chicago, Illinois. Well, that's all well and good, but I was looking in here and it's upside down, but if you look at that tag right there, that says Lakewood on it. So this is I think this is just a copy of or a rebadge of a Lakewood P series box fan. But it's really nice. It's in good condition. No excessive rust or anything. The blades look good. Got nice metal grills on it. Someone has amateurishly rewired it incorrectly. You can see it's supposed to have, it's got a grommet down there. If the camera passed it. There we go, the grill. it's got a pass-through that's been abandoned, and they put this incorrect cord on it. And then not only that, but they splice another cord, something's going on up here. Looks poorly done, so anyway, that's about what you get. But anyway, this thing does run, so let's try it out. Yeah, and I'm not even sure if this is the right switch in it, because you see it says, well, yeah, I guess it is. Off, high, medium, low. Yeah, that's correct, so that's good. So anyway, alright, well, that's that for the fan. I've got one more I'm going to show you. This is just a honorable mention in here. I don't feel like pulling it all the way out here on the front porch. But we'll go in there and take a peek at it. We'll do a video on it. It's coming up. Okay, so the honorable mention is this really, really neat, probably late 70s Kmart Deluxe box fan. And it's one of these that's really neat and advanced for its time, I suppose. It's got the thermostatic control, and then it also has a speed selector. So basically, it's just a thermostat, so you can choose the speed you want it to run on, and then you just kind of adjust it to the, I don't know how you're supposed to know what temperature that is. It's just got 4, 5, 6 on through 12, but just take your best guess at it. So it's in good condition overall. This grill is pretty decent, but the one in the rear is not so much. So I think these are probably another rebadge of some kind of common fan, so it shouldn't be an issue to find a grate for it, a grill. It is mounted on this pretty neat fan stand there, as you can see, so you can roll around. I have used this fan. It needs to be serviced, so I haven't used it very much, but it does operate well. So anyway, just thought I would show that one also. Alright, I promised you a couple more neat little doodads, and this is one of them. When I go to these thrift stores, which I don't go to thrift stores very much anymore because they never have anything, it's just junk, but do pretty good at the antique stores within reason if stuff's not too expensive. But I picked this up recently. It's a Wizard battery charger, 3 amps, with an automatic circuit breaker. It's either 6 volt or 12 volt. Made in USA. It's manufactured for Western Auto Stores, Kansas City. And if you're familiar with Western Auto back in the day, you remember that the Wizard was one of their house brands. They sold lawn mowers and then some other things under that brand. So it's this ought to tip you off how old this is by the wood grain on the front of it in this mustard yellow color. I thought it was late 70s. I was a little incorrect. It's actually about 71, 2, or 3, something in that range. So of course we have a warning label, how to use it. Do not overcharge the battery. Do not smoke, strike a match, or cause a spark in the vicinity of battery during charging. Using a well ventilated room. Not exposed to rain. Replace defective cords or wires immediately. So I haven't tried this. I haven't even had it long enough to even mess around with it. But that's kind of a neat little thing to have there, wouldn't you say? Yeah. Carry that. That's small enough to carry in the car with me. You know. I mean, how many times you take a long road trip and you pull in someplace and you gotta think to yourself, you know, That battery just seems a little low. I think I'll put it on the charger overnight, but I don't have a battery charger with me, or my battery charger is too big. You don't need to mess around with one of those little newfangled jump boxes. You just throw the old Wizard 3-amp charger on there, let it go overnight, and that battery would be topped off in the morning. Alright guys, so the only other thing I've got to show you is a vintage air compressor that's not quite an air compressor, but I picked it up because it's just another one of those things that's so cheap I could not let it go. So I did record that footage about a month or two ago, so it may look like the weather and the whatever is a little bit different, but it's just what it is. Sometimes I have to collect this stuff up to get into a video and so forth. So appreciate everybody watching so far, and stick around. Let's check out this little so-called air compressor. You'll find out what it actually is just in a second.